Hello crafters, it's Paula here. Today we're looking at the Holly and Ivy scrapbooking kit. The reason we're looking at this is because it is just full of so many fabulous bits and pieces to create beautiful layouts, and one of the double pages already designed and provided with instructions for you is such a gorgeous one that I thought it was worth showing you it being put together. So in the background as I'm speaking, you can just see what I am doing here. So the first thing that I put together was the background pieces, and there is a 12 by 12 white daisy, and then there's this lovely pre-cut piece with the word December on it. Both of those I sprayed with the Gilt gloss sprays, and now I am popping behind that little piece of tartan, grey tartan, just to make that December word stand out. Now I actually just used a small piece of white daisy. They used a full 12 by 12 piece behind. I didn't feel that was necessary, so it was just a nice way of saving a little bit of cardstock. So in this kit, you get the full paper pack, plus you get the sticker sheet, and you get all the little die cut pieces, which you'll see me using shortly, alongside additional exclusive bits and pieces, like these little circles that I'm popping in at the moment, like that little word magic, and there's also some exclusive paper pieces. So it's a really all-inclusive set. It does provide you with 3 double pages as a decorative design, which you can follow exactly, and the little extension technique is using the gloss spray that I have just already used in the background, just to add a little bit of sparkle, really. So what I am doing is I'm putting together this kit, saving on paper a little bit. So some of the pieces were meant to be full sized. You can see with the light green piece at the moment, I've cut that into 2 smaller pieces, and I do the same on the opposite side, because there's lots of ways to save, conserve some paper and use them on other projects. So what I'm going to do with this is create this left-hand side, and I'm not sure if I'm going to actually place those photos on here. Those photos are from when Olivia, was 2 years old and William was still in, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. And they are rather cute, but I actually feel that this left-hand side would look beautiful as a framed image. So just something to put up as home decor at Christmas time. And it might be that I choose to actually put in some more universal Christmas photos of the whole family in there. So I'm just going to show you with some of these photos included so you can get an idea of how it looks with photos on. But as I say, I'm yet to decide whether I keep them in there. Now, I do make a few little odd differences and changes to this layout as I go. You're so welcome to do that when you get these kits. You have just got a suggestion on how to put things together, but you might change the size of photos you're using. You might change which embellishments you choose to put on. You might choose to incorporate some stamping, and these kits do not require stamping. They've got so many other embellishments already included, but you might choose to bring in a special stamp set as well. I do use a little bit of foam tape to pop up pieces, particularly with all these layers of die cuts and elements. I like to have a few raised pieces, but I only ever use the thin 3D foam tape so that it's not too bulky in my album. So in here you can see I'm grabbing those die cuts. The die cuts are included in the scrapbooking kit, but on their own they are just $10, but they're full of lots of little bits and pieces for Christmas time. So here I've chosen to use the gorgeous red glitter bow and flowers, some holly leaves, and then I've gone to my sticker sheet to grab a cute little saying, which I think is Happy Santa or Dear Santa, or some cute little saying there as well. So I'm just popping all these little bits and pieces together in a cluster. I do muck around with the cluster for a bit. I find that I sometimes have to do that just to find exactly the way I want it to look. And I always make sure that I don't adhere down where the pieces are overlapping the photo wells, just in case I want to change out my photos at some point. So this is rather cute. I've got quite a few bits and pieces. I add a little holly up the top on the December, which is suggested in the guide, and does look rather cute. And that is that page done. As you can see, when you put a little Christmas photo in, it looks beautiful. Now I've brought out the right-hand side, and this is where you can see a lot of that Gilt gloss spray in the background. Once again, I've cut smaller strips of the paper that's required because I know I'm going to put little pieces in between. So instead of having one big full piece, I'm conserving some of my paper. And here I am going to adhere a couple of rather cute photos of Olivia when she was 3. Now, these photos are quite sweet, and you'll see in a little minute why, but she had a special request of Santa and her special request was to receive a fairy dress. That's all she wanted for Christmas. I wish that's all they wanted these days, but that's all she wanted for Christmas, and she was absolutely ecstatic when she opened up her beautiful fairy dress along with some accompanying little heels and beads and bits and pieces. So she was a very happy girl. So that's what's going to go on this right hand side, and this will go into her album. So you can see I often split up the pages. I don't always keep them as a double page spread. There she is, looking rather proud of herself with her beautiful dress on. And I've also again changed the sizes of the photos just to make them work for me. So this is quite a cute little spread. Once again too, I am using colours that perhaps you wouldn't have put with your traditional reds on the page, because she is wearing a lot of pink. But because it's Christmas, I mean, red and green are those traditional colours that work so well, and in all honesty, her light pink dress is not clashing terribly at all. So I'm quite happy to put the two together. So once I put these down, I start to embellish this side. And on the actual layout guide, it suggests putting all three of these tags along the left-hand side, a little bit like I'm showing you right now. I did try that, but it just felt a little bit overkill for the story. I just wanted to write a small story about this. So I decided to use one tag as more of a decorative embellishment piece, and then use the other tag for journaling. So I'm using more of those lovely die cuts that come in that little $10 pack. I really enjoy some of their swirls. They do add quite a nice sparkle, and you do need a bit of sparkle at Christmas time. So I'm popping these bits together. I'm bringing some more holly wreaths in because they are such a cool look with those little red flowers, and you'll just see it layers up beautifully once I start to adhere it down. And now this for the next 2 weeks, I am offering a free PDF file of about 25 different projects you can do with some of the Holly and Ivy collection. You don't need to obviously purchase the entire scrapbooking collection, but the Holly and Ivy collection is used in a lot of the projects. So this little cut file is free to you if you spend $25 or more on the Holly and Ivy collection. Now, the Holly and Ivy collection is officially leaves us actually at the end of October as we enter a new seasonal catalogue. It is such a lovely traditional range. I absolutely love it. I think it is one of the best we've had in a little while. It's so easy to use. I do recommend you get your hands on at least those Picture My Life cards and the die cuts, because they are just a great little accessory to have for any festive event. But as you can see here, the full scrapbooking kit is rather lovely with those beautiful die cuts and special extras that come included. So I'm just finishing this off now. I'm not putting the journaling on right this second, but I do plan to tell that story on here. As you can see, I've done a slightly different look than the intended, and that's absolutely fine. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this kit come together. They are quite easy. There's no stamping required, which is a little bonus for some of us that are quite new to it. All you need is a trimmer and a bit of adhesive to put these layouts together, which is also an added bonus. So as you're going to see in a minute, here is the full scrapbooking kit with all those extra die cut pages. There's about 5 or 6 of them. Then you've got the actual layout that I was being monitored by, and here I'm showing you this lovely little promotion I've got for the next 2 weeks. Enjoy, guys.